time for the interview. Today I have Jürgen here at my side. You are listening to Lunch Under the Sun. Jürgen, a friend of mine who goes with the artist name J Rockers and recording with the international label Dayl Records based on Ibiza. How are you, Jürgen?
Very well, thank you, Andres, and thanks for the invitation.
Thank you for being here and giving us your time. You are from Germany, living on Ibiza. You are a guitar player, singer, producer. When did you start making music, Jürgen?
Well, from the day I was born, I started to make music, and I did my first vocal exercises when I left the body of my mother, like that was my first touch with the music. But the real first inspiration I get from my father, because he played the accordion, and every time when he played, I was so fascinated, and I was really melting when I heard the notes and the sounds that are flowing through the air. I was really flashed, and then I learned the flute, the harp, and the accordion. And when I was 12, I discovered my first love for the guitar.
Back in the 60s, I guess.
Exactly. And at the same time, I had a real great vision. So I was lying in my bed, and suddenly I was surrounded by a white gleaming light, and I was really out of my body. And then I heard a voice inside me speaking, and the voice said, "You become a musician." I said, "Wow, okay, why not?"
You said that to yourself?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and the following years, I kept on trucking with my guitar, and so, yeah, I really practice every day, nearly 8 hours, and with 16, I had my first band, and we played wherever we could play, So I was influenced by all the great musicians at this time, like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and Iron Butterfly, Deep Purple, and Jimi Hendrix.
Incredible music at that time.
But especially Jimi Hendrix, he had such a great influence on me. It was really incredible. When I listened to him playing guitar, wow, I said, hey, how can somebody play guitar like this? How can a human being be able to play guitar like this? I couldn't understand. But anyway, Jimi Hendrix came from another planet to show us what you can do with the guitar. Yeah, really. Anyway, when I was 17, I wanted to study music, but my father was completely against it. He said, music is a breadless art. You never will feed your family with this. You never will make money and all this, And I said, okay. And then he put me into a job like telephone technician. And wow, that was really a hard time. So after 1 year, I quit the job, and then I get trouble with my family, and so on and so on. And in the end, I escaped from home and left the family for a couple of years.
I heard you kept playing music all your life, but that in the beginning you started making a new band that it was called Bullets, right? Could you tell me something about it?
Well, Bullet was a band that already had a worldwide record deal when I joined. And our producer was the same guy who produced Scorpions in this time. Scorpions, a German rock band, worldwide known. And wow, I said, wow, great. So finally we got it, But in the end, everything went completely wrong. I tell you, man, we were short before our first America tour. And then suddenly the A&R manager from New York, he left the company and another A&R manager came. And he didn't want to know anything about Bullet. So, and that was it, So we were cancelled. The band was completely disappointed, and in the end, everything was blowing in the wind, That's a sad story, but that's rock and roll, man. So anyway, I kept on trucking and made some new projects. So after Bullet, I had a band which is called Sign, and Sign was a trio, and we released 2 LPs, and we played also in Rio de Janeiro for the first music fair that ever happens in South America. And furthermore, I played some workshop tours with Nico McBrain, which is the drummer of Iron Maiden, and John Entwistle, that was the bass player from The Who. The Who, everybody knows The Who, People try to put us down, talking about my generation. And how beautiful it is when you can play with one of your idols from a band that you already know since years, and suddenly you stay with them on stage, and wow, this is overwhelming, yeah.
Well, the past is the past, and the future is the future, and actually it didn't stop you from making music. And now you are here on Ibiza, recording with Dayl Records, and you just brought a new track called The Talk, under the artist name J Rockers. What is the track about?
Well, The Talk is simply a love song. It's a love song which is based on a relationship that I had a couple of years ago. And I explained to her how much I love her, and that we can talk about everything, about God and the universe and the spirit of Mother Earth, about life, about death. And later I say, someone like you I never met. Yeah, that's more or less the meaning of The Talk.
Probably how relationships should be, like friendships, and not fighting so much as we do right now.
But every love story has an end,
It seems like it. It seems like life goes that way.
Yeah, so after 15 years, our relationship ended tragically. Because my partner died on a lung disease, and that was it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but this lady inspired me to explore new musical fields. Yeah, you have to know, she was half Indian and half English. So I get in touch with the sitar and the Indian music, and I loved it. And I started to learn playing the sitar. And that was real fun, Every night when I came home from a gig, I sat down and practice. And after a while, I started to record the first sitar album, which is called In the Garden of Shiva. And 1 year later, I did the second album with the name Om Jai Shiva Omkara. You can find this in Spotify and in all the other online shops under the name of Sitaram.
And that was your time, but then you came back to rock and roll. You recorded already 3 tracks under the name of J Rockers. And probably are these the beginning of a long play?
Yes. I think I need 12 or 13 songs for a long play. And I have recorded 3 now, and I'm on the 4th. So, yeah, but it will take time, you know. I mean, I need for a song 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. So it takes a couple of time to finish the long play. So...
Sure, if you have fun, the time it really doesn't matter. But you have another project, or different other projects. One is called Dreamers Ibiza. What is Dreamers Ibiza about?
Dreamers Ibiza, I think that was 2016 or 17, something like that. Anyway, yeah, well, I developed Dreamers Ibiza with my longtime partner, Harald Heinrichs. And we had the idea to mix modern beats with rock elements, you know. Yeah, and Harald had the contact to a young German DJ, and we brought him in. And as a singer, we took our companion from the sparkling wrinkle rockers, Gabriela via piano. Yeah, and Harald sponsored as well a video which you can see on Spotify, on YouTube, under Dreamers Ibiza, Voila Ibiza. Yeah, and the story is simply a declaration of love to Ibiza.
We don't have too much time anymore in the program, Jürgen, the time is limited, but I want to ask you something more personal, even though the interview was personal enough, because maybe the audience wants to know what is exactly the inspiration you get from Ibiza and what made you come here and stay on the island.
Oh, that's a very good question. So, yeah, I was frustrated due to the entire failure in Germany and decided to emigrate to Ibiza to restart in 1994. Yeah, 94 it was. I immediately fell in love with the island, you know, because Ibiza has such a magical flair. And that very inspired me to take new ways in music. And it worked, you know, because the magic of this island has expanded my consciousness to me so much that I have tried all kinds of styles like sitaram, classic rock, the Bhagavad Gita, and so on and so on and so on. So, yeah, but it would take a long time to list all projects that I have published with the help of Harald Heinrichs, you know. Yeah, and therefore I love very much the flair of Ibiza.
Yeah, well, it happens to many of us. I came in 1990 also into Ibiza, and I just fell in love. I was feeling like home. So after a few years coming and going, I just decided to stay here.
I remember when I was playing with UDO. So UDO is a German heavy metal band, very known in Europe and in America and so on. And I played with them 2 years. That was 96, 97, yeah. And always when we came back from a tour, because we toured a lot, all Europe, Russia, till Vladivostok and so on. And every time when we came back from this and I saw the little island, you know, from the airplane, I had the feeling that I said, wow, finally, I'm coming home, you know. and this is really incredible, you know.
Yeah, it is very different to be a visitor or a tourist of the island, but to live here, it has a special kind of flow. Okay, well, we don't have any more time, Jürgen. I'm sorry, I have many more questions to ask you, but you know, from me and Playasol Ibiza Radio, I have to thank you for your time, and hopefully we will see you too soon, and hopefully you will be able to invite us to one of your concerts with Udo.
Sorry, but with Udo I don't play anymore. That was 20 years ago, you know. But you can come to see us. And a part of that, I have another project which is called My Generation. And My Generation is a rock. And we are playing more or less on private parties and on markets like San Juan, Catalunya, whatever, and Kangaraj and so on.
Surely I will go one of these days. Soon will be Tuesday again, so you know, we are only on Saturday, and I will go for sure to visit you and listen to your music. Thank you very much for staying with us, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot, Andres, and thanks a lot to the listeners of Playasol Ibiza Radio for your attention, and have a good time and keep on rocking, everybody. Bye-bye.